Welcome back, Helldivers. At the time of this recording, I'm currently spreading democracy via the new Termicide missions, ensuring that the Terminid threat won't get any closer to Super Earth. Of course, that being said, I do wonder what the Termicide might do to the planets that we're using them on. But let's stay on topic for now and learn more about the lore behind the Terminids. In the first game, the Terminids, or bugs as they were called, are described as an ancient species that has evolved and survived for millions of years through natural selection. It is unclear how sentient these creatures are, but with the discovery of the Hive Lord, it is safe to assume that they do at least function off of a hive structure. The technical term for this is eusociality. I believe that's the way you pronounce it, which is a high level of organized sociality. A hive mind mentality doesn't mean that all the bugs share the same single mind, or that they can communicate to each other telepathically, but rather that all of these creatures share the same innate characteristics and goals to take care of the hive. The closest example I could find were to termites, which have a surprisingly complicated caste system where there are workers, fighters, queens, and more. Similarly, in Helldivers, there are many different enemy types to the bugs that can be related to that caste system. You have smaller and more inferior enemies like the scouts and vanguards that mainly have strength in numbers. Climbing the eusociality ladder, we find stalkers, warriors, and elites, which function as the bug's primary soldiers. The impaler, tank, and behemoth all serve as the bug's heavily armored units that are used in smaller numbers. And of course, the Hive Lord itself, which is said to burrow new tunnels into the crusts of the planets that it resides on. This bug seems to be at the top of the social structure and commands legions of units as it hides underneath the surface. Interestingly, there is one more enemy unit though, the Brood Commander, which appears to have the ability to command other bugs. Again, a hive mind does not mean that each bug does not have its own free will, but rather that all members of the hive have the same innate goal. So perhaps the Brood Commander just holds a higher rank in that caste system, and can make generalized decisions for others to follow. It has never fully been discovered how exactly the bugs travel from one planet to another. Theorizing here a bit, but if these bugs have been around for millions of years, then perhaps before the Great Wars these bugs spread throughout the galaxy in a similar way that barnacles do on a ship. If they have evolved for such a long time, then maybe they spread throughout hundreds of planets long before Super Earth came into being. These bugs have just been lying dormant on these planets, evolving and growing in their own ways, and now that Super Earth has expanded to conquer the galaxy, we're now discovering them. In Helldivers 2, the bugs have been renamed the Terminids. Obviously, because of their name, I use the real-life social structure of the termites as an example for how these creatures may work. Some people have mentioned that the bugs and Terminids might be completely different creatures given their different looks and characteristics. But as we've mentioned before, the bugs have been known to evolve over millions of years. Additionally, after the events of Helldivers, Super Earth imprisoned the remaining bugs to use them for resources. At the start of Helldivers 2, we are told that the Terminids have broken free from their camps, where they are used to produce E710, the resource needed for faster-than-light travel. Additionally, on some planets, you can find the molted corpses of Hive Lords near Terminid nests, further proving that the bugs have evolved into the Terminids. The Terminids feature many unique enemies, such as the Scavenger, Hunter, and Stalker, taking up the lower ranks as general foot soldiers. The Warriors, Chargers, and Bile Spewers are larger, more formidable foes. And of course, the massive Bile Titan. Interestingly enough, the Brood Commander returns with a description that mentions it commands its brethren with pheromone spores and shrieks. It is also noted that it is known for its undeniable hatred of the right to vote. And also, as of late, there have been sightings of flying Terminid units, known as Shriekers. This actually connects with the recently implemented Terminal Control System missions. Those have seen great success in pushing back Terminid swarms as radioactive termicide is used to liberate entire planets, albeit with some minor casualties along the way. There is an ongoing theory right now that the Termicide, while killing most bugs, is also mutating others, which is why we now see these new Shrieker enemies. The Terminids are no laughing matter. They may seem less dangerous than the socialist automatons, but given their strength and numbers, it's easy to be swarmed by the hive. Watch out as you spread democracy, especially for those bile spewers who spread nasty anti-democratic toxins that will kill you in an instant. As always, I'm sure there's pieces of lore from the first game or even small notes that I've missed in Helldivers 2 that you might know about. If that's the case, then let me know in the comments below. At this point, there's only one enemy faction remaining to cover, but I might wait till they make their reappearance in Helldivers 2 so that the lore video can be more comprehensive. But we'll see. Thanks for watching, and as always, go spread democracy.